Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Peace to the believers.
Peace to the non-believers.
This is Prolific Abdullah.
My name is Samba.
And you are now watching New World Television. My brother.
Been a minute. Peace.
How you feeling, bro?
I'm good. Alhamdulillah. I can't complain. How you feeling?
Man, I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed. I'm glad to be back here, bro. Glad to be back here. Go ahead, do your thing, my brother.
Yeah, so last episode 3, if you haven't tuned in, if you haven't watched episode 2 or episode 1, first question is, what are you doing with your life? Second thing is, go back and watch that, tune in, then come catch up with us, and then episode 4 lock in with us as well.
Sure.
Episode 3, we was talking about, masculinity and television and entertainment, how they try to tear down the man, the role of the man in the family.
Yeah.
And then I kind of want to piggyback off that. Like, to me, I thought to myself, like, what is the true meaning of being a man?
Yeah.
Right? And I did a couple, research. I'm looking at stuff, and, I'm looking at scripture. It talks about Qawam, the purpose of being a man is to be a caretaker and a leader. You know what I mean? We're meant to be leaders. And also, when you think of a flock, the leader of a flock is a shepherd. In the hadith, and it says, as we're talking to the men, every one of you is a shepherd.
Yeah.
And every one of you would be questioned about your flock. Meaning, you are the leader of the flock. So how your flock is, the crew, how their crew is determined by your leadership as a man. So basically, you're being held accountable as a man of, say you're the head of a family, you're a father. You have a wife, you have children, you're the head of that family. So how that family conducts itself is a reflection of your leadership. So that's the purpose of being a man. And now we translate it back to the topic of last time where they're minimizing the role of the man in the family.
Yeah.
So how can a man thrive in that role of being a leader when they're diminished or put under by the feminine role in that, man-woman dynamic? So now I want to know what's your thought process on
I'm
that?
gonna talk about a couple of things because what you're mentioning is scripture, meaning that there's an objective understanding of what manhood is, right? Then you're talking about there's confusion on what else manhood could be or possibly be. But the reason there's confusion of that because there's an agenda on manhood. They want us to be passive. They want us to be not aggressive. They want us to follow their type of leadership per se. And when we look into these ideas, I call them satanic ideas. When we look into these ideologies, we start to understand that their foundation is ungodly, right? So anything that's ungodly, it causes chaos. You remove structure, you remove balance, right? It causes a lot of ups and downs for the society. So if we not operating in the role God has designed for us, right, it causes problems. It causes problems for us and the people that we lead. The way I define man, though, right, as we spoke earlier, man is mind, right? Your mind is your intellect. And your intellect is responsible for progressing society, right? Again, it is responsible for progressing society. Therefore, in order to be responsible for progressing society, you got to progress yourself first, bro.
Yeah.
So that means you got to develop characteristics. These are all intrinsic values. You got to develop characteristics internally. You got to develop strengths. You got to develop courage. You got to develop mental skills. You got to develop just skills in general to develop your financial skills. You got to develop communication skills as men. Because if you can't communicate your vision, right? Again, you talk about leading your flock. They're not gonna know where to go, right? So you gotta stand yourself up spiritually and mentally first. Then it goes out to your family, to your daughters, to your wife, to your your kids. Then it goes out to the community, right? Because you lead in that flock as well. Yeah. So we have to learn how to stand ourselves internally. Then we can go out into the world. Another way to measure manhood, though, is the ideas that we develop. Correct. In order to, a lot of the time a lot of us are like grown men and little boy mentalities. We have grown man bodies, but we still act as little boys. Why do I mean that? How do you know if a man is working or a man is broke? To me, broke doesn't have to do anything with your financial ability, right? But it is a fruit of that. It is a mindset. It is your ability to will your ideas in here into the world. You know what I'm saying? So we have to develop willpower, and I think a lot of us lose that. If you can talk about why we don't have that willpower or why we don't have that drive or that ambition, right? If you could talk about why we've been losing it, or that's been a masculine decline for us.
Yeah. So I think the reasoning behind that is because as men we know there's a system against us.
Yeah.
But instead of us fighting that system, we succumb to it. We say, well, that's just how it is, so I guess I'm gonna just have to. Nah, I feel like that's the problem. We just bending over, not pause. That sounds kind of crazy, but we just surrendering to the system instead of fighting back to the system. We surrendering. We like, well, that's just how it is. I just got to deal with it. But in reality, you don't. Like when you see a system that's not right, it's meant to be challenged. Yeah. Because like you said, it's satanic. Like it's not moral. It's not right. So to just let it happen as a man, that's not manly. Yeah. Like, as a man, you're supposed to fight against what's not right. You're supposed to fight for what's right. Yep. So I feel like that's the root of it right there. As men, we need to fight to get back to the position where we're meant to be in. Indeed. Like, society has created this image of a man, especially men of color, us. Yeah. You know, there's a, image of us portrayed. Like, we're portrayed as hoodlums, thugs, criminals, always aggressive and angry. But like that's not us. Like maybe there's a little bit of it in there, but not in the negative light as they put it. Because we were just talking about on a ride here, like those traits are perceived to be negative through the language they use. Yeah. You know what I mean? I gave you an example where if someone were to tell you, man, you're always being aggressive, to you like, dang, that's something bad. Like the way it's being said to you is something bad. It's a bad connotation. But say like me, I'm a coach. If I tell one of my players, like, hey, man, I need you to be more aggressive. Yeah. Now, say if he's used to hearing the other content, that could be a trigger for him just based on hearing the word, but not the content of the word I'm telling them. So it's just like, if we don't learn how to fight the system and break it, it's going to be a repeated cycle of that, being triggered by the word instead of the content or what the word is actually intending to tell you. Indeed.
What I hear there is a lot of structure. Like, I think we lack that, bro. I think we lack a lot of structure. I hear like this idea of I'm just going to let it flow, right? That's cool in certain instances, but to let your life flow, that ain't masculine, bro. You have to, we have to go back into like, these little 30-day challenges they be doing. We need to at least go back into that, redevelop our mental structure, redevelop our, the vision. I think the vision, that's why like having a vision is important. Because if you don't know where you're going as a man, you're going to lead into destruction, right? Take over real quick. Keep talking about that, because I want you to talk about, because you said we have to be aware of the problem before. Yeah. And then we have to find a solution for this problem. What would be a practical thing for someone else who's listening to this, for them to develop a masculine essence within themselves?
Yeah. So, number one, I feel like the thing is, the number one step is that we need to stop blaming others. Like, there's a system against us. Yeah. But that victim mentality is not going to get you nowhere. Yeah. Like, you got to fight against it. And, like, I feel like in our generation, I could speak for, because this is the generation I'm in, we got to understand the dynamic of a man and the dynamic of a woman. There's, in any situation where it's man and woman, boss and worker, teacher, student, any dynamic where there's, two people, there's a system of check and balances. Yeah. As a man, you have a role. As a woman, you have a role. As a boss, you have a role. As a worker, you have a role. As a teacher, you have a role. As a student, you have a role. You have to know how to play your role and excel at your role. Yeah. So the number one thing is... So the number one thing is, we have to know what our role is, number one. Yeah. Like you said, as a man, if you don't have a vision, the wind is blowing you. So to have the vision is to know your role, and then you have to put a plan in place to excel at your role, or to perfect your role, or learn how to develop your role. Then once you develop the role, learn how to, accept the role, then develop the role, then excel at the role. Yeah. You gotta learn, you gotta know what your role is, accept it, perfect it, then excel at it. Yeah. So as men, now that's what we need to do. Indeed. So now we know deep down, every man knows what your role is. Okay. You know it. Even though society is telling you, this what you're supposed to do, you know, as a man, like every man has, as human beings, like all of God's creations, as humans, we have fitra, we have free will, we have consciousness. Deep down, no matter what society is telling you, what your neighbor is telling you, deep down you have, you know, that feeling that tells you, that voice that tells you like, yo, this is your purpose. This is what you're meant to do. So once you accept that, then you make those steps. But it's like us, with just that victim mentality. Like, that's not manly. If we talk about manhood, I think that's the most non-manly thing, is having that mindset of, well, that's just how it is. I was born into it. This how I was raised. Like, no. Like, yeah, that's your nurture. Okay, that's what you would develop. But then also, the most important thing is your nature. You go out and develop. You go out and search. As a man, like that back in the time, men were hunters and gatherers. They didn't just sit there and expect things to come to them. They went out and got it. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be the type to pray for what you want and then go chase what you prayed for. But you can't just pray and just sit there and be like, I hope it comes to me one day. Nah.
That's that little boy spirit.
That just goes back to what you were saying. That little grown man body, little man complex.
And, you know, I think another issue is the willpower. We've lost, like, willpower. There's stats showing that our testosterone from the 1900s to now has decreased at least about 40%. Right? So we're not even producing enough sperm, you know, to even, you know, sperm is important. It creates life. Right? If you were to keep that same sperm or that testosterone, right, that it gives you the ability to regenerate some of your cells, some of your mind, you know. People call it semen retention, whatever you know it may be. But these things can help us develop our willpower. I think we give up too easy, bro. Like, I see, like, one of the students I was teaching, bro, he didn't even give himself a chance. And I kept telling him, like, yo, give yourself a chance. Give yourself an opportunity, because you have this defeated spirit of, I'm just not going to do it. So there's a belief system in there. There's something broke into your belief system that's not working, causing you not to produce. Right? Our role is Adam alayhi salam. Right? He's a Khalifa. Right? Meaning he was the one managing his environment. Right? To manage your environment means to cultivate the soil. Right? So if your soil is toxic, therefore you need to put in the work and engage in the work to recleanse that soil out into something that's fertile, right? Into an environment that is that allows you to grow to your full potential. Because if there was a seed right now, if there was a garden that you was trying to, if there was a garden that you was trying to produce, right? It's fly bugging me, dog. It's fly bugging me, dog. I don't know where this John come from, bro. It's fly bugging me, bro. But if we were gardeners, right, and we wanted to produce a garden, if the soil was not good, we would have to change our soil out, replenish it, then put the seed in. If you put a seed in a toxic soil, bro, right? If you put seed in toxic, that seed will not produce to its full potential. Therefore, for us as men, if we're in an environment where it's not allowing us to produce, we must come to the conclusion in our head that we must engage in the work to change that. And for me, what I also heard you say is basically knowing your roles. You got to study. Like I heard Nuri Muhammad, he came last week. Your role, right? When you hear the word role, when people like actors, they play their role. But in order to have a role, you have a script. Right? So that means you need, he was saying some fire stuff. So you have to study that script. Right? For us, as we're talking about scripture. We have to study the scripture of God, scripture of Allah, whatever He revealed with us. However that is, then we go and play that role and act out in that, you know, because this whole life is a theater. But in order to play your role, in order to know you're playing it perfectly, you gotta know the script. You gotta know the script. Facts. So I think even when I did go last week, I was like, bro, we need more of these, more of these like manhood topics. But the thing is, the only negative that I had about the situation. Was that I felt like it's gonna go off topic a little bit, but it's like everybody got an opinion, bro. Everybody got an opinion, bro. Like I'm tired of niggas' opinions. Like I'm tired. I don't even like my own opinion sometimes, because again, I believe in truth, right? I believe in like changing your mindset constantly. You got to constantly update your mindset. You got to constantly. People are always talking about like, even to me, it's feminine to always talk about your experience, your experience. Like, bro, you telling me how you feel about it. You're not really doing anything you're not stepping into like a fire in order to reform and to transform. I know that was off topic, but I just had to say that.
You say it's off topic, but I actually want to.
It is back on topic.
I actually want to, talk about it a little.
Come on.
So for me, like, I don't disagree. I agree. Actually, I just have a little different mindset. To me, I feel like there's nothing wrong with being opinionated, but there's everything wrong with being closed-minded. Because you can say something, I can have an opinion, but if I'm open-minded to hear you out, my opinion could transform and change into what you're thinking. So having an opinion, I think, is important, because if we all thought the same, we wouldn't be here.
It'd be ugly.
Like, the reason why we're moving is because we all have different mindsets. We all have different ways of thinking. And you just can't have a poisonous way of thinking where, like, it's just your emotions. Because the thing about emotion is, like, you can't, like, say, for example, if you see a pot of boiling water, if you look at it and try to see your reflection, you're not going to see anything. You try it. Try looking at her. Like, you might see yourself, but the water is boiling.
You ain't gonna see
you're not going to see a clear vision. But if you were to look at a still pot of water and look into it, you will see your reflection.
That's true.
And that just goes back to speaking out of emotion, acting out of emotion. That's what that is. So when your opinion is driven by emotion and how you feel, you're not rational. So if your opinion is strictly about emotions and feelings, then I agree. But if it's a situation where I thought it through, I'm like, I made an opinion based on my logic and reasoning, that's a different opinion than how I feel. Because now, if you made me mad, I might agree with you, but just because I'm mad at you, I'm about to say something that's contrary to what you said just because of my feelings. But with my logic and reasoning, no matter how I feel, that's how I'm going to think.
I'm going to say something. I want to, because, like, this language is so, like, it's dangerous, but it's good. I call that perspective. What you just gave me, you gave me perspective. Opinion can be anything.
Facts.
Right? The only time we can use opinion freely is when we're in science. Because they're all, like, when it comes to science, hadith science, or just science in general, they're rooted into different methods. Right? But when we talk about just the public, when people, it's not when we say opinions, a lot of those, they're what people will call perspective. It's not rooted into no method. So what you're saying is, especially when somebody has thought it out, they're giving you perspective, they're giving you insight, they're giving you wisdom. Now I can adjust. But people just saying stuff just to say it. I'm like, what's the method behind it? Or are you just saying it just to say it? Going back to emotions, I think there's a lot of things that's affecting our emotions, bro. We living in like the best generation, but at the same time, the hardest generation to focus. You get what I'm saying? To keep our mind disciplined, to keep it straight. We're living in a tough generation because we got technology, we got a lot of women, it's a lot of factors. We got food that's disrupting us. There's a
lot of vices.
There's a lot of vices, bro. So how would you as an individual I'm gonna go a little bit more specific, like a step-by-step formula for somebody else to how would you deal with an emotion first and foremost? Then how would you deal with building your mental self?
Okay. For me, I think emotion is very important. But I think with emotion, what you have to do with it is to accept it and understand it, but don't always express it.
Okay.
Like,
talk your shit, bro.
I can feel angry. I acknowledge that I'm angry. What am I going to do about this anger? Am I going to try to understand why I'm angry and try to understand why this thing that's making me angry have so much control over me that it's making me angry? Or I'm just going to be angry and lash out on people because I'm angry and then use that as an excuse. So I think emotions are meant to be understood, not to be expressed. Because you have to understand your emotions, because say you're in a situation, first you got to understand what is this situation trying to teach me? What is God trying to teach me? Because anything that happens cannot happen without
that's wisdom, bro.
Anything that happens cannot happen without the will of God, will of Allah. So meaning the emotion that I'm feeling right now, if it wasn't for Allah's will, I would not feel this emotion. So you have to accept the emotion, understand the emotion, but understand all emotions don't need to be expressed.
Indeed.
If it's the emotion of gratitude, if it's the emotion of happiness, joy, those emotions express. But anger, jealousy, envy, those emotions are tests.
Yeah.
Because any negative emotion is a test. Now, you can choose to yourself, am I going to pass this test by understanding this emotion and studying why this thing causes me to feel that, or why do I allow this so much control that it's making me feel like this? Because then, if you think about it like this, as a man, the most dangerous thing in the world, and I'm talking about in the world, the most dangerous thing is an emotional man. And I'm not talking about feeling emotion, but acting out of emotion. Like, think of all our brothers in the system. If you ask them, why did you kill this person? What would they say? Oh, they stepped on my shoe. I felt disrespected. Crazy. Because they lashed out of emotion. But then you could be like, dang, I feel this way. Why do I feel this way? Why does this thing holding on me so heavy? Why am I so angry? Why am I so mad? Why do I feel envy? Why do I feel jealousy? And then do some soul searching on yourself. But you can't but that just goes back to that victim mentality. We're so quick to just lash out. And then after the deed is done, then you want to think, like, dang, if I should have went about it this way. But you done skipped so many steps. Then you want to come back when it's too late. You done already made a decision. I seen a picture. It's a bird flying, and it's a dog jumping off a cliff. The dog was angry at the bird, chasing the bird. I seen that. The bird flying, now the dog falling out the cliff. What can the dog do? Not shit. Making a decision out of emotion.
Yeah. What I hear from there, I hear a lot of shadow work.
Yeah.
I think we skip on a lot of shadow work, bro. Like, and what I mean by shadow work, personally, I'm talking about sitting down with yourself and writing. Like Carl Jung had this idea of if you had all these emotions, right? They're stuck in the unconscious side. But the thing is, if you're not like analyzing it, like how you're saying it, these things are actually controlling you. Therefore, you need to sit down and write it out. When you write it out and see, it becomes a mirror. It's like, it becomes an internal reflection, right? Just like I can look at a mirror, I can see myself from top down. When you start to write, you start to actually create a mirror for yourself to see who you are. Then you can get to the root of why you angry, why you expressing it like this. And you start to find out, you start to unravel all these things. And that's putting your subconscious into the conscious now. Right? Because you're not allowing all those things to control you. You're putting it to the forefront and you're dealing with it. Right? This is where you deal with this is where you deal with that dark shadow who you are. It gets ugly. But I've learned to not not to be afraid of it, to actually to accept it. And, allow it to enter into your space so that you can see clearly. You know what I'm saying? I think we skip out on that process. I think we as men need to develop systems, mental systems where if I do get angry, I'm gonna go through this system so I can understand this anger instead of just going out of emotion. We don't want to be reactive. I like talking about when we talk about manhood, right? Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I got to talk about him just real quick, right? Because I don't think I'm too informed to talk about him all the time. So that's why I always hold back on that sometimes, right? He was a warrior, man. Right? He had the ability to go into battle, do what he had to do in battle, but still come back home and be loving to his wife, loving to his kids, smiling to other neighbors, right? This same dude that was able to go into the battlefield allowed a Jewish woman? It was a Jewish woman that would come every day to dump trash in his backyard. Right? He would just let her do it. And one time she didn't do it. You know what he did? He went to go
went
check
all
her.
The way and see why
she ain't throw the trash this day. He put up all to her house and he ended up finding out she was sick. You feel me? And that's when she converted and everything like that. But that is the spirit of a warrior. The warrior, right? It's this guy, he's full of emotion, but he's mastered his emotion. Right? So he's disciplined, but he's also artsy. You know what I'm saying? I think we need to be able to have the capability to be angry, right? There's not wrong with anger, dog. There's not wrong with that shit. It becomes a problem when you allow it to control you. you've now oppressed yourself. From an Islamic standpoint, when you allow emotions to overcome your mind, again, we're humans. What makes us human is the intellect, right? If you allow other things to arise over the intellect constantly, you are oppressing yourself.
Facts.
You know? And I'm going to let you continue. And if you're oppressing yourself, you're then oppressing the flock that you're supposed to be leading.
It's a full circle thing, because like you said, like, you're going to be questioned on your behalf, and then you're going to be questioned on the behalf of your flock.
Yeah.
And also, like, another thing we need to understand as men, or just humans, this is a human thing that we all need to understand. There's a thing called code switching. Code switching means you're you.
Got you.
But in different environments, in different places, you're a different version of you.
Okay.
So, like, you would tell somebody to go, like, they'll go to a business meeting. They're like, oh, I'm not going to change the way I talk. I'm me. But you got to understand, you can be you. Yeah. But you can have different versions of you.
Bro, I'm glad you said that.
Like, the version of me you see on a basketball court is not the same version of me you see when I'm teaching a class. Yeah. It's not the same version of me when I'm coaching. It's not the same version of me when I'm sitting down with my family. It's not the same version of me when I go out with my friends. Yeah. But I'm me. At the end of the day, you got to learn how to conduct yourself in different settings. Yeah. As a man, as a human, you need to know how to adapt. But as a man, it's essential. You have to know how to adapt in different situations. Because if you can't, all the closed doors that you see, you close them. Yeah. Any open door that's in front of you, if you can't code switch and adapt to your environment, you're closing every single door. You got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to adjust. And you got to be able to, wherever you go, leave a footprint. And there's two types of footprint. There's a negative footprint. There's a positive footprint. I could leave here right now. You can go your way, he can go his way, he can go his way. And they could be like, man, that man Samba was talking today. Yeah. That's the positive footprint. Right. But then if I leave a negative footprint, I could leave. You go your way, he go his way, I go his way. Man, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never linking up with Samba again. I don't know, I can't listen to him talk. Yeah. But that is you. You determine, we talked about it earlier, people can have an opinion on you, but the truth, you determine the truth people see about you. People's opinion about you, that's them. That's them. Someone can have an opinion about you and not even know you. But the truth about you, it's going to remain. It's going to remain there because you plant that seed. Indeed. The way he see me after today, I plant that seed. Indeed. The way he see me after today, I plant that seed. It's very intentional, bro. But his opinion on me, I don't plant that seed. But the way he see me, because he can't see nothing I don't show him. But his opinion could be based on nothing he ever seen. What I hear, because that code switching stuff, right? I think it disregards like how multi-faceted we are as humans. It locks us into this one umbrella. You got to be this. Every door you enter, you just got to be like this one robot. Yeah. I think that's unrealistic, right? But like you said, like you could be you, but it's just in different forms and different versions and everything. And you as a man, when you know yourself, you'll know how to express that in those different rooms. So there's language in the, like I hear this in social media or just everywhere in general. Oh, you can't be code switching. I'm like, all right, that's not realistic. Yeah. Because now you're suppressing me now. You're telling me not to express myself in all these other ways when there's other ways for me to express myself. So I think that's very key. We never even talked about that, bro. Yeah. That's a key, bro. That's a key. Manhood again, right? What I would like to see, because this is new world television. Yeah. Right? You know, we see that the media's job a lot of the time is to give us a perception of what manhood looks like. Man, in the future, I would love to like work with people to see, to create what a healthy man looks like and how he operates in the family. Because when you watch these shows, bro, like think about the shows, bro. Like especially The Shy, right? Yeah. It be the baby mama, he with the ex-baby daddy, fucking messing with their cousins, doing effing their mom. I'm like, bro, this is all toxic. Yeah. Like I watch these shows not out of joy all the time. It's just to see the message they're trying to imprint in the mind. And again, like people have this attitude, it's just what it is. Yeah. It's this passive attitude. We're not supposed to be like that. We're supposed to want to change the whole structure, especially if you know it's not right, if it's unjust. We have to have the courage to stand up, on that and everything. But I would like to see people come together
to put a proper image on manhood or what how a father is supposed to be, how a brother is supposed to be, how a what's another thing, man? We operate in, bro. We out here.
What you mean?
Brother, fatherhood,
uncle, cousin, grandfather,
you know what I'm saying?
Son.
We want a healthy image on what that look like, and I think we need to be following the real script that Allah has gave us, but put that into television instead of this. I'm gonna say ungodly, ungodly scripts that they give us.
Also, you know, what I also think we need. I think we need examples of those men telling us how to be that man.
Oh, that's
I
cute.
don't need. Like,
Cute.
no disrespect to anybody, but I don't need someone on a podcast that doesn't know nothing about being a real man telling me how to be a real man.
Right.
Like, if I'm gonna, like, not saying I can't take advice from anybody, but like, if I'm gonna learn to be a billionaire, I want to learn from a billionaire. Like, you're not gonna go ask a football coach how to be a basketball player. You know what I mean? You're not gonna, like, if I want to learn about being a real man, I want to learn from a real man. I don't want to learn from someone who thinks they know what to be a real man. All right, now let's break it down, right?
Let's break it down.
When you look at social media,
okay,
like, this is not a trick question. Like, don't overthink it.
All right.
Who,
overthinking?
like, we're talking about communities, right? Who is out here telling men how to be real men? Like, when you look at social media, what is the larger group of people telling a man?
I'm gonna say
no, not even it's as simple. Like, you're never gonna guess this. Like, what group of people are telling men how to be real men?
The leaders?
No, you want me to tell you? Women.
Oh.
Woman. A real man supposed to be this. A real man supposed to do that. Woman. On social media, if you look at social media, women are the people telling men how to be real men.
I hate that.
And like, for me, it's kind of crazy because how is somebody that's not a man going to tell me how to be a real man and how a real man supposed to conduct himself? And so that just goes to show, like, and men are listening to this. Why you think we live in a generation where men are tricking on women? Because that's what women told men to do. That's what a real man is. Now, you know what's crazy though? Being a real man, guess what that is in this generation to women? What? Sassy. Having value, knowing your worth. Being a real man is sassy nowadays. But being a trick and doing all this stuff that satisfies a woman, that's being a real man. But actually being a real man is sassy. That's what I said. When I look at media, or if I want to learn about being a real man, I want to learn from a real man. Bro,
first of all, we let too much people have podcasts now. Because I was thinking about this. I didn't even bring it up to you, but I was thinking about this, bro. That tells us that it's some connected shit going on like that. But I don't appreciate it either. The only time that's acceptable for a woman to say what a man is if they're going off scripture. Because Allah tells us this is what a man does: protect, provide, and she can hold us accountable to that. But anything else, it's like you way off. Exactly. You off your mark right now, right? There's one thing women say. They say like men should be more open. I don't think they understand the reality of that. I'm gonna agree with them and I'm gonna disagree with them. I'm gonna agree to this one condition, because you said earlier that we only want to follow men that are actually men and leaders. I think those men should speak out more. Yeah, that's very true. If more men are going to be more open, it's going to be the men that are embodying masculinity, but they're not going to open to show emotion. It's not about that. It's about giving advice to leadership. So that, like, as I'm growing, I've learned, like, the more I hear real men talk, right, I start to learn, I'm going through the same stuff. So that's the only reason I would want them to be us to be open, but not to. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't trying to relate emotionally too much. It ain't like I'm closed off. I think I got certain doors for that, though. I got my own, like, I'll vent to Allah. I'll vent to myself. Feel me? If I ain't gonna vent to my mom, because, you know. I vent to ChatGPT. I swear to God. Like, when I'm feeling something emotional, I go to ChatGPT. I talk to ChatGPT. I don't know what government agent is being reported to, but, like, after my conversation with ChatGPT, I'm back to myself. You back to emotion? Because I talked about checks and balances.
the dynamic between a man and a woman is an emotional being.
Yeah.
That's why like, God told us as men, protect the woman because she's precious.
Yeah.
It's an emotional being. She's delicate. As men, we can't be emotional as well. You can have emotion, but you can't be emotional. Because like I said earlier, the most dangerous thing in the world is an emotional man.
Yes.
How can you help someone that's emotional if you're emotional yourself?
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I do agree with the part that as a man, like, your woman counterpart, like your wife or your spouse, is the only person that can see that side of you.
That's it.
But that opening, that being open is not a thing, because as a man, I'm not saying you shouldn't show weakness, especially to your woman, because as a man, you're the protector to that woman. So if you're supposed to be protecting someone and they see a weakness in you, they can't trust you to protect them. Yeah. And that opening up to that woman, that's exactly what it's doing. It's showing them a sign of weakness on your part. Not saying you can't, if you have a problem, you can't talk to your woman, or if you have something in your mind, but it's certain things that you're supposed to protect her. Now, if you tell it, the purpose, like the dynamic is supposed to go this way. You feel some way, you stressed about some way, you tell me and I'll take care of it. But I can't, you so worried, like at some point, like I remember, like, I was talking to someone, they told me, like, I was like, why you ain't tell me? They said, I see you dealing with so much of your problems, I didn't tell you about mine. But as a man, we're supposed to stack up all those problems and juggle it and navigate and see how we're supposed to settle the storm, calm the storm. As a man, that's what makes or break you. Like, that's your role in society, is to juggle all these problems. Like earlier we was in the car, I was talking about like how my life had just changed in the last 2 months. And I'm juggling all this. But as a man, I don't have time to sit down and soak and cry about it and sit here and talk about my problems. Nah, I talked to GPT for like 20 minutes. Now I'm ready to go. Yep. And now, like, I don't want to hog the mic, but
nah, you good.
This goes back to what you were just talking about. A lot of those men need to speak out. You know why they don't? Because it's two things. We live in a generation where being a positive figure causes a lot of scrutiny. Like me, two people I listen to a lot that advocate for men, I listen to a lot, is Dr. Umar and Andrew Tate. And when you ask someone about those two people, you automatically hear something negative. Yeah. You know what I mean? So a lot of people, they have a lot to say, but they're scared to speak out because of the image, or they don't want to be canceled, or whatever. Feel me? Another thing, we also live in a generation or a society of gatekeepers. People that got the sauce but don't want nobody else to get a taste of it. Everybody, like, you feel me? You got the...
But that ain't no real man, though.
It ain't. But the thing is, like, my thing, this how people do, right? Okay. I got the sauce, right? I got the sauce. I got the recipe. Okay? I tell you all the ingredients you need, but I won't give you the recipe. You feel me? So I'm tricking you into thinking I'm bringing you in, but whole time I'm keeping you at arm's length. Meaning, I got the sauce. I know exactly how to make the sauce. But I'm not going to teach you how to make the sauce. I'm going to tell you everything you need to make the sauce, but not tell you how to make the sauce. So that's how they make you feel like you're one of them, or you're included, but you don't have the sauce. Like, even we think about it, like, we think about the system. We're like, oh, the system not messed up because there's black people that's successful. You know what they have? They have the ingredients. They don't got the recipe. They got the ingredients. Them ingredients make them feel like they're in a position of power. But the people that are in a position of power, they got the recipe.
Like that. Carrying the burden of manhood. I showed you, because you talked about two masculine figures, Omar Johnson, Andrew Tate. I like both of those two. Yeah. I love Andrew, bro. Yeah. He be going crazy.
He do.
He like, all you do is freaking watch TV. And he be going crazy,
He
bro.
tell you the hard truth, bro. That's what you need as a man. You don't need, oh, it's going to be okay. You don't need that as a man. That shit. No, you don't need that.
I don't need that. I only need that for my wife if I have that.
You feel me? That's the purpose of your wife. Oh, baby, you can do it. Just push a little. That's what your wife supposed to tell you. You don't need another man telling you, hey, man, it's going to be okay, man. No, it's okay. Just push. You don't need that. You need your man to tell you the truth, bro. Like, if you slipping up, I got to tell you, yo, bro, you slipping up, bro.
Facts.
I can't be like, no, it's okay, man. Just rest. It's okay. No.
It's too passive, bro.
No.
Yeah, it's way too passive. Another two people I like Now, I'm gonna say another group of people that I see. That's why it's good for us men to look up as other men.
Yeah.
Because again, there's a certain direction we want to go, and if those men that we are looking up to are leading or going into the way that we want to go, we need to be able to follow that recipe, follow those disciplines. I love 19 Keys, dog. I always talk about him. Bro. Nuri Muhammad, right? Him, but also Shaheed Bozeman, the guy that I showed you in Middle Nation.
Yeah.
He talked about carrying that burden.
Yeah.
Like, take it as pride.
Yeah.
Like, we sometimes we do be having a lot of boatload, but sometimes we look down on it. Right? Therefore, we look down on ourselves. Yeah. And then it becomes like a depressing cycle of not wanting to go through it. But in reality, you should be like, bro, this what makes me feel like a man. Yeah. Now, it brings about the opportunity to overcome these obstacles so that you can produce a whole new opportunity for yourself, you know? So I think we need to learn how to embrace difficulty. Like, I'm doing this new stuff. I'm doing this new type workout. I actually been doing it. We're going to wrap it up soon. I've actually been doing it, but I'm doing it again now. It's called Chasing the Shake, where you work out, right? And I'm in a wall sit. I'm talking about, I was on a 5-minute wall sit yesterday. Just straight. My legs are just, but you enter into a space where like you fighting now. Your body and your mind is like, okay, let's give up. But that's where you have to respond back, like, nah, let's keep going. Let's see how far I can go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? After I was done, bro, I couldn't stand. I had to literally just sit down just like this. You know what I'm saying? Do the same thing with my what you call those? Planks. Do the same thing with my planks. When you do the push-up position and the regular planks, I did those for 3 minutes, 4 minutes straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm shaking. So the whole point of that is to rechange your whole nervous system. You got to rewire your brain, rewire your way of thinking. So you want to get to a point where you don't want shit to always be comfortable. Yeah. Right? That's too much. That's what the feminine is supposed to be, in her comfortability. But us, we want to be able to encounter danger, right? Yeah. So we can sharpen our sword and everything. Yeah. So when we encounter danger, right? That's what courage come in. Yeah. Courage is not the lack of fear. Yeah. Bro, you're gonna fear something. You're scared of something. Yeah. You just got to be able to have the willingness to walk in that, to deal with that. And when you're able to deal with that, that old person, he actually die off. Yeah. And you become a new man. Yeah. And speaking of dying off, I'm no longer in my fucking healing journey. Fuck healing. That's like the perspective I've started to develop. I've been listening to now Napoleon Hill. Again, these are leaders that we're looking up to, right? You have to study the script, and you got to follow that script. Yeah. Napoleon Hill talk about, bro, healing. You guys are trying to heal? Yeah. No, kill that. That is the individual that wants you to keep looking back, to keep reflecting. It's important to do that at a point, but there's a point where you keep looking back. It's actually anchoring you, and you need to redevelop and re-engineer the future self. Yeah. In order to do that, you got to kill. I don't want to recognize, like this person I am now. In the next 3 years, I don't want to recognize him. Yeah. I don't want to know what the hell he knew. Yeah. I want to be, above that. So that's where my mind's at.
Bro, you just said some stuff like, when you said you can't be like the comfortable stuff, right? Yeah. Bro, when I was in prep school, my coach used to stay saying it, and he used to piss me off then. But now I think about it, bro, he was right. It was a couple words. You got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's a paradox. Meaning, what's uncomfortable in the meantime is painful, but in the long run, it's going to be the best for you. Yeah. Because complacency is the enemy of success. Because when you're complacent, you settle. You're like, I don't got to do no more. I'm already where I'm at. You know what I mean? And also, when you talked about fear, as humans, we have responses. You know what I mean? You got to fight or flight. So fear can mean two things. Fear could be positive and negative. Fear can be forget everything, so forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. So how you use fear? You're going to forget, you feel me? You're going to fight, or you're going to flight. Yeah. So as a man, we're supposed to face everything and rise. Gotcha. Now, our woman counterpart, if they forget everything and run, is okay. Because if a burglar come in the house, you can't run and your woman fight. Yeah. She can run and hide while you fight off the burglar, and then you be like, honey, it's okay, y'all can come out. Yeah. So fear, when we hear the word fear, you be like, oh, you a man, you ain't supposed to have fear. But they not talking about that face everything and rise.
Yeah.
They talking about that forget everything and run.
Ooh, yeah.
So as a man, you can't forget everything and run.
You can't.
And even when you was talking about it earlier, like when you said like you don't want to recognize yourself in 2 years, right? Bro, that goes back to what you asked me earlier, and I was like, it feels weird. And you were kind of confused a bit when I said it. It feels weird because I'm changing into this new person, and it's uncomfortable.
Got you.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to complain about it.
No, not at all.
But, you know, I'm going to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because this is a new life for me. Like, if y'all ain't know, like, I just recently got married, you know? So, yeah, appreciate that.
Sure, bro.
It's new. So anything new in life is going to be uncomfortable. But I'm ready for this journey. I'm ready to attack it head on because as a man, I'm supposed to face everything and rise.
Indeed.
You know, and rise, we don't know the direction if rise is up.
Yep.
So that means the only way is up because I can't rise going down. I can only rise going up. So I know the journey is only up. Now it may be some struggles, but I know I'm going up.
Indeed.
So if I know that I'm going up, why would I shy away from that?
Indeed.
So, yeah.
I like that. We're going to go ahead. We're going to wrap this up, though, baby.
Sure.
We've been over here. I think the main takeaway that we got to know as men, and if you're a man, listen to this podcast, man, study the script. Study other men that you see in this society that are operating in that role. Study their script. Multiple men, bro. Study all these men and, you know, and try to find yourself within that. All right? So develop a structure. Develop a discipline, develop a routine, master emotions, right? Do all those things and be complete, be a complete human. So, again, you are watching New World Television. I am Prolific Abdullah.
I'm Samba.
And, damn, I said that.
Exactly.
My bad, y'all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace to the believers.
Peace to the non-believers.
I'm Prolific Abdullah.
I'm Samba.
And you are now watching New World Television. Peace out. My brother. Appreciate you.
Bah, 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 bah. Yes, sir.
Let's go. I was uncomfortable for a little bit.